You always kept a hand in the A&R business. And I know from working with you that your taste kind of ran across the board, unlike some A&R guys. Talk about what it is from your perspective and all your perspective about what it is that you're looking for in an artist that makes them have a chance to be successful.
I don't know, you're always looking for something that's unique and something that stands out. Really, I learned early on that I had quite a good ear for picking talent, right? And the key, though, was for me to normally find a partner in A&R to actually do, the proper job of A&Ring and making the records and all that. When you meet a special artist, I think it's something that just, that comes through,
You had partners in A&R. That means you hired a lot of great A&R guys in your day.
Yeah, I mean, going into the studio and making the record has never been really, what I've done. What I've done is hopefully recognize the talent and then work with a really great, Michael Goldstone being obviously a good example with Pearl Jam and Rage Against the Machine, So that, recognizing talent, it's, I suppose, just because I'm a fan, and that's where I've always come at it from being a fan. And, in England, because particularly when I was growing up listening to music, it was very narrow the amount of radio stations you had, and they used to play everything from, pop through to heavy metal. So, my taste has always been very, very eclectic in that way.
You're not a musician, are you?
No, and actually, I think that's a huge advantage. There isn't an ounce of frustrated musician in me. Anytime I make a comment to an actor from an A&R point of view, it is purely coming at it as a fan and as what I think the fans would want to hear, not as in I think you should play it this way because that's how I would play it.
I think it's an interesting perspective. Like yourself, I'm not a musician at all, and there were times I think as a manager I felt that because I wasn't a musician that I didn't have a certain bit of cachet and cred with the artist. Did you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I think that there is an element of that sometimes. I think that artists do wonder why should I be listening to you? I mean, and of course the great artists I've learned actually have a far better understanding of what they're doing than we do, and what we have to do is to try and take that and make that vision that they have work. I mean, I always tell the story about when I was president of aPpKVg and was working with Michael Jackson, and it was at a time when he probably needed to make some changes in some of the direction he was going in, and having meetings with him and telling him what I thought, and he was always incredibly polite. But as I'm talking to him, making a suggestion, I can sort of hear him thinking, shit, this is the 15th president of aPpKVg Records who's been here during my term, and I've sold over 100 million records, so I think I know what I'm doing, and actually if I was him, I'd think exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and I think both of you and I know that one of the things that people that are not musicians can bring to it is that semi-detached point of view where you don't have your heart in it. But more importantly, what I used to say to artists is that there's a lot more guys like us out there that are buying the music than people that are making it, yeah. And I think it takes all kinds of perspective to actually help an artist see it, the playing field in a way that's balanced, I suppose.